All right, for the next section, we're going to create some tree maps to elaborate on each of our reasons. You can see that I've already drawn the first section of my tree map, which is the title of my section or the topic of my section. So my first reason was important characters and scenes. I'm going to branch out my tree map and I'm going to clarify and provide examples. Remember, you're copying what I'm doing in blue, you're not copying what I'm doing in red. So this was my first reason. So I could label this reason number 1. Now, in my circle map, I came up with my first reason. It was important characters and scenes. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that the book had people and situations that the movie didn't. So when I clarify, that means I put it in my own words. So what are some examples of that? Well, in Maniac, one example was that they didn't even have Grayson. So I could talk about how they didn't have Grayson, like they were kind of like family, and that was really crazy. They didn't even have him dying. They also didn't have like Mars Bar and Maniac's friendship. So I could include that as a detail as well. I have a few examples now, and I clarified my reason. Go ahead and do this for your first reason, and when you're ready, create your second tree map for your second reason. So for me, here's reason number 2. And my second reason I said was that it lets you use your imagination. So I'm going to say use imagination. I'm going to create my tree map. And just like the one above where I elaborated, I'm going to clarify and I'm going to give examples. So what do I mean that it lets me use your imagination? Well, when it doesn't just show you the pictures, then you can imagine what they look like and imagine what the characters looks like. So you can see the characters in your mind instead of someone deciding. So an example of this for me is that I could really imagine how Maniac undid Cobble's knot, whereas in the book they showed me that really unrealistic view of it. I also would talk about imagining how Maniac smelled at the zoo as another example of this. Alright, and then I'm ready to create my third tree map for my third reason. And that's going to go on the second page. So reason number 3. I create the top of my tree, which is where my reason's going to go. And my third paragraph I decided was going to be that the ending was dumb. Okay, and so I need to clarify what that means. So what do I mean the ending was dumb? Well, I thought the ending was... So when I clarify, I mean that I think that the ending was dumb because it was really unrealistic in the film. Now I'm ready to come up with some examples of what I thought was unrealistic. So what I mean by the ending being dumb, well, there was that line that disappeared. And Maniac and Amanda got married. And these are two things that I thought were not very realistic in the film. So now I have 3 completed tree maps to elaborate and clarify each of my different reasons for my paragraph. You should create 3 similar tree maps for each of your different reasons, and these will become your body paragraphs. If I talked off the map, I could say, for example, one of the reasons that the book was better than the film was that the book had important characters and scenes. Let me do that one more time. So the first reason I would say, or if I talked off my map, I could say, one reason the book was better than the film is because it had important characters and scenes. In other words, the book had people and situations that the movie didn't. For example, in the book we met the character Grayson, who was kind of like family to Maniac. Also, in the book, Mars, Bart, and Maniac become friends, and this takes a long time. These are some of the ways that the book has more important characters and scenes than the movie. That is why I like the book better. That's how I would talk off the map to get ready to write my full paragraph based on this. If you haven't already created your 3 tree maps, please pause and create your tree maps before moving on to the next film.